Welcome back to One Guy, One Course, One Disc. We're here today in Alcoa, Tennessee, checking out the Claytons. This is a unique one in that it has a hole 0. They got rid of hole 11, and instead of redoing all the T signs, they just made a hole 0. It's pretty much the old warm-up area that they turned into a hole. But let's go take a look at the course. Hole 0 is a 393-foot par 3 that's going to go uphill 13 feet. The first 2/3 of this hole is wide open, but as you get closer to the basket, you do have these bushes that push in towards the basket, giving you a fairly small landing zone around the basket. But once you finish hole 0, hole 1 will be right in front of you. Hole 1 is a 402-foot par 4. It's going to go uphill 37 feet. It's 64 feet to this gap, which is about 5 feet wide. And then you're going to go about 200 feet off the tee, and then it's going to turn to the right 90 degrees. So if you don't have a good left to right shot like me, you're going to want to lay up right about here so you have this open lane to the basket. But once you finish hole number 1, hole 2 will be straight ahead of you down the hill. Hole 2 is a 340-foot par 3 that's going to go downhill 50 feet. You got 64 feet to this tree that's on our left. And then after that, you just have a whole bunch of other trees you have to miss. A lot of little lines on this hole, so just pick one and do your best. But the main thing is keep the disc low so it doesn't stall out. But once you finish hole number 2, hole 3 is going to be to your right. Hole 3 is a 395-foot par 4 that's going to go uphill 20 feet. You have 83 feet to this tree here that we're passing on our left. Then it turns slightly to the right. And then from there, it's 300 feet to the basket, relatively straight. But once you finish hole number 3, hole 4 will be straight ahead of you. Hole 4 is a 460-foot par 4 that's going to go uphill 2 feet. You got straight shot for about 165 feet, then a slight turn to the right, which is coming up right at this tree here on our left. And then from here, you got another 222 feet, pretty straight shot with a little hard left finish at the end. But once you finish hole number 4, hole 5 will be off to the right. Hole 5 is a 420-foot par 4 that's going to go uphill 10 feet. You want to go straight for about 155 feet, and then it's going to turn to the right. And then you're probably going to go about another 150 feet, and you're going to turn back to the left. From the short basket, it is 103 feet to the long basket that's hidden behind some trees. But once you finish hole 5, hole 6 will be to your left. Hole 6 is a 422-foot par 4 that's going to go downhill 36 feet. You have 113 feet to this tree here that's on our right. But it's pretty straight shot most of the way to the basket. There is going to be a slight finish to the right. At the end, it's kind of tucked behind this wall of trees and this black box here that we're coming up to. It's definitely a tricky approach into the basket. But once you finish hole 6, hole 7 is going to be to your left. Hole 7 is a 450-foot par 4 that's going to go downhill 20 feet. You're going to have about 227 feet, and it's going to turn to the left. And then you do have a small little creek that runs along the left side, so you do need to be careful about any right to left shot. This green is tricky to get into, as you do have to cross the creek to get to the basket, and it's perched up on a little plateau. But once you finish hole 7, hole 8 will be to your left up the steps. Hole 8 is a 317-foot par 3 that's going to go downhill 45 feet. Most of this in the first probably 100 feet of the hole. You have this tree here that's kind of in the middle of the fairway at 168 feet. But if you can come to the left side of it and turn to the right, you should be able to get your disc close enough to have a putt for birdie. But once you finish hole 8, hole 9 is going to be to your left. You're going to follow the signs out to the road. You're going to take a right at the road. And then once you get to the parking lot, you're going to take a left and follow the mulch pathway all the way to hole 9's tee pad. Hole 9 is a 573-foot par 4 that's going to go downhill 41 feet. It's open all the way to the basket, minus that first 20 feet, but that shouldn't be an issue. You're going to have about 525 feet before you get to some trees that are right before the basket. But once you finish hole number 9, hole 10 is going to be to your right. Hole 10 is a 349-foot par 3 that's going to go downhill 14 feet. You do have this parking lot on the right side you do need to be careful of, but pretty much the only obstacles are these boulders that could affect your shot. Other than that, it's wide open, pretty easy. But once you finish hole 10, hole 12 will be a little bit of a hike, but you can take the shoulder on the road to get to the basket. Once you cross the bridge, it'll be off to the right. Hole 12 is a 611-foot par 4 that's going to go uphill 14 feet. It is wide open most of the way to the basket, and then right before the basket you do have a bunker of bushes and trees that sticks out a little into the fairway, giving you an approach shot that needs to have a left finish, and the basket is perched up on a little hill. But once you finish hole 12, hole 13 will be behind you to the right. Hole 13 is a 516-foot par 4 that's going to go downhill 21 feet. It's going to be 250 feet to get to this gap between the two bunker of bushes. And then the basket will be off to the left just a little bit. The rough on this hole is awful, so do your best to stay out of it because you're definitely going to lose a stroke just trying to get out of the rough. But once you finish hole 13, hole 14 will be to your left. Hole 14 is a 527-foot par 4 that's going to go uphill 22 feet. It's open shot most of the way. You do have a bunker of trees on the left that you do kind of have to watch out for, but there's plenty of room to the right, so it shouldn't be an issue. And then you'll find the basket tucked in the tree line straight ahead of us. But once you finish hole 14, hole 15 will be straight ahead of you. Hole 15 is a 589-foot par 4 that's going to go downhill 36 feet. You have about 200 feet of this wooded fairway you have to manage to get through. And then it's from here you're looking at another 389 feet of slightly more open fairway. You're going to go about 150 feet after the woods to get to a right turn that's going to go down the hill and through the tree line, and then it's going to turn back to the left to get to the basket. But once you finish hole 15, hole 16 will be to your right. Hole 16 is a 650-foot par 4 that turns to the left pretty much the whole way of this fairway. You're definitely going to be tempted to try and put it over the taller grass and hopefully to clear it, but it's very deceptive, so don't be afraid to use more of the right side just to stay out of that tall stuff. But once you finish hole 16, hole 17 will be to your right. Hole 17 is a 735-foot par 5 that's going to go uphill 9 feet. It's wide open to the short basket, which is 526 feet. Then it turns to the left, and it's another 209 feet to the long basket. You do need to be careful because this does slope to the left the whole way. So any shot that goes right to left will carry a lot further to the left than you want it to. Also, the long basket is probably about 10-15 feet from the wood line, so you do got to watch your speed coming into the basket. But once you finish hole 17, the long tee pad for hole 18 is to your right. The short one will be to your right, down the hill, across the walking bridge, and then to your left. Hole 18 from the short tee is a 356-foot par 3 that's going to go dead straight. It's pretty open most of the way, then there are some trees right before you get to the basket. But once you finish hole 18, the parking lot will be on the opposite side of the business building, so you do have to walk around it. You can either go straight or you can turn back around and go the other way. Ah. So I got super lucky. My disc rolled all the way down the hill, making this next shot a lot easier. Of course, there's way. Oh, too low. Josh. Sit. Sit. Oh, hey. That's way short. Oh. Oh no, oh no. Oh, slip. Bye. Oh no. I think it's safe. high enough. Close. So there you have the Claytons Disc Golf Course in Alcoa, Tennessee. Definitely a long course. You're gonna need a big arm if you play the long baskets. I would say if you shoot under 900 rated rounds, probably stick with the short baskets. It'll just make the experience that much better. And you're definitely gonna need Udisc to get around, because there are some spots where if you're not paying attention, you can get lost easily. Also, definitely look at Udisc before you play, because this course does have some intricacies about it that you need to know before you play. But all in all, it's a great course. There are some spots where the layout's a bit close, so you just gotta look out for other players. But yeah, definitely come check it out if you're on. Once again, this is fairly close to Knoxville, so if you're in the Knoxville area, definitely come check it out. It's worth it. Until next time, off to the next course.